Hey, I'm Billie Eilish, and you're on LOS40.
Welcome to Mexico, first of all. What a show it was last night.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Fire.
And I actually wanted to ask you, how do you feel after a night like that? I mean, it's just been hours since you were in that stage.
I know. It was crazy. It was really fun. I mean, I've also never been to Mexico City in my life, or Mexico at all. So I'm like, it's such a pleasure to be here. Everybody's been so nice. The crowd was not even looking at their phones, which is so rare everywhere. I was very impressed. It was very cool.
It was super cool. And do you ever search reactions or ask on social media after you have a show? Because internet is going crazy. They loved it yesterday. Yeah.
I actually don't really after shows. I mean, I always go on Instagram right after them and see what I've been tagged in and see what videos are out there or whatever, which I like doing. But I don't know. I should look into it more.
You played Everything I Wanted for the first time live.
Yes.
Were you expecting the reaction?
I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, it's funny. We'd never even rehearsed it ever. We rehearsed it. The only time we rehearsed it was we went to sound check at 7 a.m. yesterday, and we went and we did it 3 times in a row because we've literally never done it. We've never even almost done it. It's crazy. I feel like that's we've never had a song that we never have rehearsed at all, even though it's out. So it was really cool to get to do it, and I'm excited to do it more and see what the reaction is in different places.
It is a beautiful song. I actually wanted to ask you, where did that come from? Because I think it's very deep. I mean, all of your lyrics are, but this one especially.
Thank you. I mean, I just was saying that that song, every single lyric to me has a very specific meaning and a insanely specific instance that it happened, and I don't know, for some reason I feel like now that it's out, I kind of don't want to tell anyone what it's about or why it's about what it's about, because I've been seeing so many of the reactions to it and so many of people's opinions of what it means and what it's about and why I wrote it or whatever, and I kind of don't want to take away from that and spoil what it's actually about. I kind of want to leave it up to the listener.
It leads me to my next question. It was, you've talked about how sometimes you write just for storytelling, not necessarily from a personal point of view, but you also do personal songs. So whenever you do a personal song, is it harder to pour yourself to show those feelings?
It kind of is, because I mean, it's about yourself, and it's much easier to tell somebody else's. I don't know if you've ever had this experience where somebody tells you a story and it's somehow way easier to tell somebody else that story that someone else told you than tell how you feel.
Right.
Because I feel like we all have this kind of mask all the time where I feel like we never really know how we feel about things. And that sounds ridiculous, but I sometimes feel like I explained something and then I'm like, wait, I just explained how I felt about that and it's totally not how I felt. And I think it's because our brains decide what we feel, even if it's not really what we feel. It might be what we wish we felt. And so it is hard. It's really hard to dive into your brain and be what am I actually feeling?
Right.
What's the actual feeling? And sometimes you realize things about yourself you didn't even know, And that's why, writing with my brother is so important to me, because we kind of show each other what we're feeling that we don't even realize we're feeling. And it makes it so much, more open,
I love that. And I actually like that you mentioned that, because I wanted to ask, how much is the Billie Eilish we see on stage a mask of the really Billie?
Genuinely, it's totally me. I mean, I feel like people that know me would agree with that. It's pretty much who I am. I think the only difference is probably the way I talk. I have kind of a voice, a different voice, which I notice, but everyone does. My brother has his own interview voice, and I'm like, what the hell is that? That's not your voice.
We all do.
We all do. And so And it's also like what you want to be heard as. So I'm not like mad about it. It's just like funny that I have these different voices.
I'm really happy to see you enjoying this more. I was watching a lot of interviews yesterday, and I can see a change of maybe how you felt. Can you pinpoint what it was that made you change your mind, maybe about fame or about what you were living?
Yeah. I mean, God, there was like a million things. In the last year especially, there have been so many things that have just, I think, just helped switch the way I've been perceiving everything. And I don't know, I think a lot of them are really personal things that I don't have to go into, and a lot of them are just like, I'm getting older also, and everything has been kind of it's been feeling like it's all worth it, which I felt like for a while it wasn't, and now I feel like it is, and now I feel like it pays off. And you know, I don't know, there's a lot of things, and also some things just change, and you gotta, that's the thing about like everything, is like things go away, like things fade, feelings change, and you know, if you're just patient with it, it's like it will eventually change.
And it is completely worth it. You're going in your first world tour, arena tour. How are you feeling about that?
I'm so excited. I am so excited. I've never gone on an arena tour. I've done a couple arenas, and they're amazing and they're so much fun. But I've never like gone on a tour. And I mean, I've been on a bunch of tours, but never arenas. So it's new.
And you want it to be green as possible. And I wanted to know, where does that come from? Do you feel like you have to give back to the environment? Do you feel like you can do more in the position you are? What is it behind that decision?
It's a lot of things. I think one is just that when you have a platform, like I think just because I grew up without a platform, and I always would be like, I wish the people with platforms would advocate for this kind of thing or this kind of thing. And I'm like, now in a position, I realized a couple months ago, I was like, oh my God, I'm in that position. Like I gotta take advantage of it and advocate for the things that I believe in and the things that I think are right. And I mean, it can't fix things, but it can help things, and it can change. And also like I also wanted to kind of give back in a way, just because I have a job where I have to do certain things that aren't great for the environment. Like I have to, you know, go on planes places. That's something I have to do. And because of that, I want to do as much as I can to like make up for that if I can. And I also want to learn more about climate change and like what we can do to help our carbon footprints, because I don't think I know enough about it, and I want to learn more, and I want to teach people once I learn. And that's like kind of what I've been doing. And, yeah.
I think it's really great. I think it's brave also to
Thank you.
To be willing to learn.
Totally.
Yeah. And still talking about the new song, I know videos are really important for you, and that you also consider yourself a visual artist. So what's in store for the video for that song?
We are working on it. It's coming. I don't know if I want to say, you know, because I could tell you what's going on, but then if I do, then the internet will be like, put it out! And I can't have that yet. So it's not filmed yet. We haven't made it yet, but we are going to.
But you're working on it, and it is something you're excited about.
I'm so excited, and I'm directing it, so
wow, that's great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's great. I love that it is also part of your performance, like directing them yourself.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, all the visuals, even like for the first couple years, like all the visuals I had, I made myself on like iMovie. Literally every single visual, every festival I played, all the visuals were made by me. They're all like edited by me and everything. And the ones we have now, I worked with this team, and they like made them, but I sat down with them and we like worked on everything for like hours and hours and hours, and I like gave them all the notes, and I'm so involved in that stuff. It's like annoying how involved I am, because I wish I could just sit back and like not worry about it, but then I would be mad and I wouldn't.
No, but it's great because it's exactly what you pictured.
Exactly, totally.
Yeah. And well, my last question, you have been an inspiration for a lot of your fans because you dare to be different, because you're just yourself. So to everybody watching right now, what do you think is important about just not minding what people think and doing your thing.
If you were trying to do things to please everybody else all the time, or, you know, who's gonna be like, who's gonna be happy with this, and if they're gonna, you know, whatever, like, never thinking about your own, like, wants and needs and just doing it for everybody else. It's like, what if suddenly everybody else, like, died or, like, wasn't there anymore? Then you'd, like, be stuck with this thing and that you only did and got to because of these people around you, and, like, is that really what you want? You know, and probably not. So I feel like do whatever's gonna make you happy if you were the only person on earth, you know?
Perfect.
Which is super selfish, but you gotta be selfish sometimes.
Yeah. We deserve to be selfish.
We do.
Sometimes.
Everybody does.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Of
being
course.
with us. If you want to say goodbye to people watching.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.